Khamzat Chimaev's next fight inside of the UFC. His coaches laid out a plan for Khamzat Chimaev, who he should fight in the middleweight division, who they're planning on fighting in the welterweight division. Just the next steps for Khamzat Chimaev inside of the UFC. And I'm going to warn you, it's going to be a pretty long video, but there's a lot of interesting details and things that his coach is saying regarding to the future of Khamzat Chimaev in the UFC. So stay to the end of this video if you want to learn all there is to know about Khamzat Chimaev's future. So let's get into it. As soon as they got there 1 or 2 days later in Russia, the Russian president was starting to draft people in Russia, and Chimaev was literally just visiting his parents to spend 10 days with them in Russia, then come back to Brazil and start training jiu-jitsu and grappling. He was supposed to be here with us. That was the plan, but I think things are starting to get back to normal. I believe he will be able to go to Sweden in 1 week. If he does, he's going to go to UFC 280 in Abu Dhabi as a guest fighter. The UFC's 170-pound division is a bit stuck because there will be a rematch, said Nascimento, the coach, referring to the trilogy of Leon Edwards and Kamaru Usman. Chimaev's situation at 170 pounds is he either wants to fight or serve as the backup fighter in case someone gets injured for Leon Edwards and Kamaru Usman, or he wants to move up to the middleweight division and fight a guy in the top 5 of that division. But we don't rule out the possibility of, even though I think it's going to be very hard for Israel Adesanya to beat Poatan Alex Pereira, we would love to be, Adesanya would have beaten everyone in the top 7 at least once to even twice in some cases. So maybe we would jump the line and just go right over everyone in that middleweight division because Israel Adesanya has already cleared out the top of that division. So he's saying Khamzat might be able to get and jump the line in the middleweight division and get a title shot. And we thought about going up, but we've already created a legacy at 170 pounds already. If we move up to the 185-pound division, everything would have been for nothing except for the experience. But the focus is on becoming a champion. After we mentioned going up to the middleweight division, we sat down with the whole team and decided to wait for the welterweight division to settle, so at least we have a title fight. If he wins, perfect. We go for the next one. If he loses, we go up. All that being said, a rematch with the Brazilian middleweight and a heated rival in Paulo Costa for UFC 283 show in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil is not out of the question for now. If the UFC thinks that's doable, he can make it happen, Nascimento said. The UFC is a company. They want the numbers, they want the results, they want the money, they want to sell. So I believe the UFC will make it happen if they want to for sure. We were really anxious to watch the movie and see everything would be shown. He said, watching the movie, I felt like it went back in time. I don't know what movie they're really talking about there, but yeah, that is very, very interesting right there. He's planning on either moving up to the UFC's middleweight division to fight Paulo Costa at UFC 283, or possibly if the UFC is able to, and Israel Adesanya is able to win against Poatan Pereira, that'll leave a possibility, as the coach is saying, for Khamzat Chimaev to jump the line and face Israel Adesanya in 2023. Either that, or he fights Paulo Costa, or he could be the backup for the main event between Leon Edwards and Kamaru Usman. So there's 3 things that Khamzat Chimaev is going to do. Backup for UFC welterweight division title fight, skip the line and fight Israel Adesanya if he beats Poatan, or fight Paulo Costa at UFC 283. Those are the only options as of right now from Khamzat Chimaev's coach. What do you think would happen for Khamzat? I personally think he is going to be getting the man, the myth, the legend, Paulo Costa. But what do y'all think? Put your thoughts down below in the comment section.